for me, residencies and traveling around and doing these projects in many places is very much like setting up temporary homes or temporary studios. And I enjoy doing that. I feel like when I go to a place and I know I have only a few months, I just try to make the most of it. And for the MAC, I proposed to make an installation with swings. First, I thought of 30 swings, each swing made of wood. I planning to have a map of capital cities carved into the surface, and having all these swings hanging in the space with thick black chains. And then I decided to increase the number of cities because I wanted to include cities of capitals from the countries that represent the various communities that live in Vitry. Of course, we couldn't include every single community, so it was a selective process. We're now going to the Rateau Entreprise, where we're doing all the rendu for the maps and the carving on the actual swings. I'm really excited because I haven't seen this before.
On est à 27,6. Voilà.
C'est logique de faire le même traitement. Ici, il y a de l'eau. Et ça, c'est un pont, mais c'est assez large. Alors, je me demandais si vous pouvez faire la même chose ici. Sur ça, je pense que c'était tout. Ouais. I'm fascinated by maps. They can refer to so many different things. I mean, I think maps are about inclusion, exclusion, about belonging or not belonging, about borders, about disputed areas of the world. So I'm fascinated by this thing of like being here and looking at a map which is of somewhere else and being, transported mentally to another space. I've used swings before in my work. I've made a couple of works based on swings. But of course, in the case of the piece I'm doing for the MAC, because of the representation of maps on the swings, it speaks of different things like unstable geography, about movement of people, about the fact that in a lot of situations you have cities within cities, if you like, or nations within nations, where you have this multicultural situation where people come from very different cultural backgrounds, and there's this duality. They always live in two different cultures at the same time, sometimes opposed to each other. I actually like to use materials that are quite seductive and beautiful, even if the implication of those materials, is more kind of about danger and whatever. But I always like that kind of physical encounter to either seduce you or repel you at first, and to experience the work in a physical way before you start maybe trying to work out meanings of what the piece is about, and that varies with different people. I mean, different people will make different readings of the same work, and that's very interesting to actually keep a system very open, so that people can project their own readings and bring their own, historical anxieties or whatever experience that they have had, their own histories.